Hi guys, in this tutorial we will learn about the basic tools in navigation in Maya. First, let's start with controlling the camera. If you look up, you can see this set of icons here. These tabs are called shelves. They hold shortcut commands in Maya and represent them as icons. Let's take a look at the Generals tab first here. Here we can see these four set of icons here. These are the tumble camera tool, the track camera tool, the dolly camera tool, and the zoom camera tool. If you click on the tumble camera tool, and then I left click on my mouse and drag, you can see it allows us to see our 3D object in 360 degrees. Now let's click the track camera tool, and then I left click and drag again with my mouse. We are able to pan left and right at our object. Now let's click the track tool, and then I left click and drag again at my mouse. As you can see, we are zooming in and zooming out at our 3D object. And then last, let's click the zoom camera tool. It's basically the same thing. And if I left click and drag my mouse, it allows me to zoom in and zoom out at our 3D object. Okay, next is the viewports. So let's take a look at our viewports. So I'll press spacebar on my keyboard. Okay, in 3D we have four views in which we are able to see our 3D object. These are the top view, the perspective view, the side view, and the front view. To focus on just one view, just place your cursor over to the view that you want to be maximized, and then press spacebar. To go back at our four views or orthographic views, just hit spacebar again. And that's the basics on using the viewports. Okay, next is the toolbox. You can find it on your left side of your Maya interface. These icons here lets you move, rotate, and scale your 3D objects in Maya. Okay, so the first icon is the select tool. This lets you select your object at the viewport. So to select an object, just click and drag your cursor towards your 3D object. So this selects your object. Okay, so the second one is the move tool. This lets you move your 3D object in viewports. So you can either move them all over the three axes, or you can move them one axis at a time by just placing your cursor over to one of the colored arrows, and then left click and dragging your mouse. Okay. So by the way, all of your changes are recorded in the channel box here to your right. So if I drag my cube here, you can see that I'm using Translate X. Okay, so the next is the rotate tool. So this lets you rotate your objects over the three axes. So you can rotate it all over the three axes, or you can also just use one axis at a time by just placing your cursor over to just one manipulator. So for example, just the red part, I'm going to place my cursor here and then just left click and drag my mouse. So if you look at our channel box, we are just using the rotate X. Okay, so next is the scale tool. This lets you resize your object in Maya, so you can resize your object all over the axis, or you could also just specify which axis you want to use. So for example, the Y axis, let's just place our cursor over to the green box manipulator and then just left click and drag our mouse. Okay, as you can see, we're using the scale Y to drive our deformations. We're gonna skip the other commands for now. So that's the basic navigation and tools in Maya.